Thanks everyone again for being here. So I'll start with the story of how I met Brynn as well. At the MFA orientation last summer, I of course knew Brynn, like me, was the new poet. I'm the only poet in my cohort of 7, and when we were in the orientation room, when we were doing the whole pizza and mingling thing, I just knew like she's the other poet in the room that I need to speak to. So during this, I kept waiting for some point that I could introduce myself to Brynn, and when she went to leave, and this is maybe the less flattering part of the story, I hurried to catch her in the hallway, so I followed her out really quickly. So I left my pizza behind. And I apologized, I'm so sorry if you have to go, and I'm sorry for stopping you and this and that. But I told her all about how I was excited that she was here and that we were the 2 new Fresno poets, at least for the fall semester. So I was able to talk to her, and I told her I couldn't wait to work with her. And since then, I've been really fortunate to work with her in a few capacities. So not only in workshop, but I've also been able to sort of teach her classes sometimes in our Laureate Lab courses and like facilitating activities with our classes. I know Brynn has a lot of knowledge to offer the program, and you can see that so fully in both her teaching and her community work and her work of poetry. She sees things in my workshop poems that I hope are seen, so I feel really fortunate to get to work with her as one of the new poets. Right? So read her bio. Brynn is the author of 2 books of poetry, Power Made Us Swoon and The Palace of Contemplating Desire, which was the winner of the Benjamin Saltman Award from Red Hen Press, and a finalist for the Northern California Book Award. She has co-authored with Tracy Brimhall the poetry chapbook Bright Power, Dark Peace, and she is an assistant professor of creative writing in our English department at California State University, Fresno. She is a Kundiman Asian American Poetry Fellow and a 2-time recipient of California State Library Civil Liberties Public Education Grant for her work with the Yonsei Memory Project, a community storytelling organization that's built on the foundation of continuing to tell stories about Japanese internment and social justice. Founded in 2017 with the artist Nikiko Matsumoto, the Yonsei Memory Project utilizes arts-based inquiry to generate dialogue connecting the World War II incarceration of Japanese American community with current struggles for justice. In this summer of 2019, Brynn will be an artist in residence at the Santa Fe Arts Institute as part of their Truth and Reconciliation residency program. She was born and raised here in Fresno to a Korean mother and a Japanese American father. Her poetry has been anthologized with Helen Bendler and Ishmael Reed, and has also appeared in the New York Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the Virginia Quarterly Review. She holds degrees from Sarah Lawrence College, New York University, and UC Berkeley. Please join me in welcoming Brynn Saito.
Thank you so much, Mariah. I totally remember that moment where you ran after me and we got to meet and talk about poetry. I want to thank all the students I've had a chance to work with this year. I'm so happy to see some of you here today. You've just made it such an amazing first year for myself as a faculty member, and I'm so excited for Minder joining us in the fall. I also want to just thank my faculty colleagues, Joe, who's here today, and Vanita, and Rhonda, and John and Connie, and Tim, and of course Stephen. All of you have this is like my chance to publicly thank you all for just onboarding me so wonderfully, and my faculty colleagues in the English department for just making this first year very just amazing and dynamic and full and rich. And thank all of you for being here today. Like Minder, I'm gonna read like mostly new stuff or stuff I've never read aloud before, and some old new stuff, and you'll see what that means. So I thought, well, this is sort of a hometown space, some friendly faces in the audience. I'll just try some stuff today. So this is a new poem. It's called Belle Donne, and it's written for my great-grandmother, I'd say, sort of inspired by her story. Belle Donne. She arrived on a boat with a photograph of her future husband, who was not the man who greeted her. Some of the women who were with her on the boat went into the fields, worked through the day hours, and never slept soundly. Some of the women rode into cities to serve other women and men. She made her way to the great Central Valley, harvest of the nation, place of dust, sunlight, blood in the fields, to labor beside him. Of the children she bore, some survived her and others did not. All were swept up and shuttled into horse stalls when the Great War told itself across the nation, that Belle Donne of violence. Later, in the little white wooden house planted in the middle of the valley town, she, in her 90s, drank beer and hollered joy at the TV screen. Her beaded eyes and her bun of black hair never faded to white. This is a poem called First Lines. I assembled it this morning, so I've been doing a lot of assembling and not writing so much, but I think that's appropriate. Like, I'm thinking a lot about like the Zuihitsu or just list poems or just this energy of collecting and assembling. So I had all these lines that I want to use in a poem one day that are in my poetry graveyard file, and I thought, well, these could all be great first lines, and I'll just string them together and we'll see how it goes. So here we go. First lines. Barrenness is all there is, believe in it. Single story of diatom seas and snow melt, muddy green forest lung and fertile dust sweeping the life cells in a singular direction. Do you see it? Mutant, you said, and we understood. In the mystic classroom, we clapped our hands and the seeds of sacred dignity sown into the skin of Western philosophy. Simple. The cells marched. Mother, you remother. Bones bloomed and the bodies once inside your body got blessed by city light. What silently praises the sun? Toadflax, loose strife, foxglove. None of the fires remember my name, lie near to me now. Gallop alongside your animal fear and the addict who loves you. I'm a coin on the lake face. Every landscape has its secret discipline. I have a right to be here. Tumble and scar, the mountain will teach you. Who you've been can no longer carry you. Is that a miracle? I get really nervous, I like cough. So this must be very meaningful to me. I did a little writing Tracy Brimhall, who I co-wrote the book with, we went to Ireland last summer and we stayed in this farmhouse like a couple hours east of Dublin, and every morning we woke up and gave each other writing prompts. So one prompt we gave each other was to rewrite poems we wrote like 15 years ago. Like, what would it mean to write that poem again? So I thought I'd read you the poem from like 15 years ago and then read you the kind of the rewritten version that we wrote last. This is just writing exercise stuff, so it's not complete. Disclaimer. Tell my students, you're not allowed to say that, I'm not allowed to do that for you. So this poem is from the Palace book, and it's called Dear Daughter. One day you will find yourself on the sharpest edge of yourself, and if you're lucky, someone will answer the phone and say it's for you, and you'll come inside. The voice is an open refuge. Forgiveness is a tower of hands. Once when I was young, I walked through a clock, then under a bridge, and my whole life was lit by a Camel cigarette. I met a man who was not your father, but he played the jazz piano, so we fell into it and we let it rain. Of course, love is kind, but sometimes a person must pursue a plague that could do some justice to the storm within. You'll see. You will be thirsty too. You will stop believing in September. You will suddenly become aware of the fact of your heart only when a part of it goes missing. Well, don't believe what they tell you. No one likes change. One day you will find yourself resisting your own waking. Try tending to the sacred and see where that gets you. Try rolling through your life like a rusted train through a stockyard nation. Nothing fills a cup like moonlight, nothing. And no one will twist you like a man will twist you, but that's the deal, isn't it? That's how books get written. But don't believe what I've told you, convince yourself. Then burn the sage and claw your way through every oak on the rotting mountain. Let's see, this is dear daughter. One moon lights the desert night, but here in Lake Country, every truth is reflected. I saw myself as a child this morning, picking parsley in the meadow while my father and your father dig gardens in a valley 5,000 miles from here. There's nothing false about my dreams of you, though you're a ghost to me. A silver signature on a summer page, backlit face the color of water. In New York and young, I worried about sunlight. Now I stroke a small lump and the mysterious slope between thigh and lower belly, and terror sings through me like a corrugated flame. And the world I imagine for you, women of the deep, rise from the marshland, hauling from the bog our prehistory. Turtles tunnel avenues over skies of Manhattan. Ivy, tough and bridal, curls fogward. As a ghost, I grow stronger and lighter at the same time. I talk stories to your daughter's daughters from the city's ruins. What else have I got here? Let's see. I got some Seijo. I've read a couple of these before. So Seijo is like kind of Korean haiku form. It's a sung form. It's a little bit longer syllabically than the haiku. But these are kind of short Seijo that I've been playing with and trying out. First date. Dusk light eats stucco. 22 twisted cloud shapes shifting down sky. Rosy sun in winter washes the neighborhood houses. I let myself feel comfortable, uncomfortable, recalling your blue jean arrows. For Marilyn June O, my grandmother. Nights alone and staring, sure of ocean traffic and thin smoke uncoiling, cresting up from Broadway below. Small-waisted grandmother, city girl in 46, I see you, fighting in 2 languages. September soul. Mother, I watch. Strong, you walk tall, reflecting mountains. Water grows more sure of its strength as rain rushes beneath cool elm winds. You are not anymore a shard. History's strong song makes us whole. Let's see, I'll maybe read a couple, maybe 2 more. Does that sound about right? Yeah, plenty of time, maybe 3 more. This is kind of a newish, oldish poem. I was thinking about after poems. We were talking about this a little bit with in workshop and writing after a poet, being inspired by a poet. So there's a poem called Things I Didn't Know I Loved by Nazim Hikmet, and it's just a list of all these things he never knew he loved after he was sort of imprisoned and riding the train and reflecting on all of these things, and it's kind of got this list energy. And I've always loved that poem, and I wrote this poem a couple years ago after kind of a major injury, and I was just thinking about the body a lot, and I thought I'd try reading this one again. Things I Never Knew I Loved, after Nazim Hikmet, with the line by Stacey Ann Chin. And it was this poem, I guess, was like commissioned by the American Bookbinders Museum, and they said, "Can you please write a poem about bookbinding?" And I was like, doesn't sound very sexy, or I don't know how to write a poem about bookbinding. I think you were there in that reading. So this is kind of what came out. It's April 16th, 2016. I never knew I loved the book. Its careful spine and springtime stitch, the tercet's weaving of memory and blood, this love. If the body is a book, then I am open. If the body is a book, then pain is the narrator. I'm on my back in the night again and sweating and imagining angels. I never knew I loved angels. I never knew I loved my body. The angels pull red ribbons of pain from me. The angels circle. The angels whisper, remember your childhood, how you loved the soil and dancing, how you dug your toes into the earth of the summer garden, your father planting and your mother near. I never knew I loved the garden and sky, and this city, though it destroys me, and these streets, though they deceive me, and this windswept, unpaced beauty, though where is a place for poetry? In the night, I am everything I fear. In the morning, I am all I ever want to be, a girl flying, a sprawling orchard under dawn pink skies. I never knew I loved blooming. I never knew I loved the orchards of my youth, and the boy who died there by his own hand, and the boys from my hometown who rushed to war, the way they rushed off summer decks once, flinging their bodies into the greatest bodies of water, their limbs unpinned, our fates unwritten, their limbs unstitched and wild, like ribbons of light. And I think I'll close. I did the first lines, so I'll close with the last lines, another list poem that was recently assembled from lines. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Woodward Park Library, to Jefferson for making everything wonderful and smooth and beautiful. Thank you. And thank you so much, Miter. An honor, a pleasure to read with you. Last lines. Toothless starlight, sing to me now. Low moon, skin spottled and ancient, speak from the eye of the atmosphere, loosely livid, dropped under. Carved smoke, red water, neck ache. Whatever ate their hearts has spared you. Start living in reverse. You are allowed to beg again somewhere. You are allowed to change. And why not the body? Nipple and hip crease, mountain fibroma, desmoid tumor dance, and two hands clasping, unclasping. Water molecules shapeshift under anger. The past is like that. A single crane rises from a watery roadside ditch like a letter. Gnostic in the oak light, bring me to my senses in the tired dawn. Pack of dogs, take my palm. Now you get to believe in God. All of the blessings are so unclear. Now starlings sing verses. Cloud light swells the grape fields. How long before you give yourself to moonlight fanatical? How long before you recall the taste of democracy, rock shore to seas rain, the people's eternal return? Yellow cedar, unshard me. Beautiful prayer animal, rise to the occasion of your living. Thank you so much.